Texas Entertainment Experience is open for spring break. That's a Mainland City Center, formerly Mall to Mainland, as well as the Lago Mar Crystal Lagoon being open today as well. I got a guess. We're going to be talking about the Whitecaps baseball team right there in Galveston, Texas. Galveston College, here we go. Good morning, this is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name is Gardy, and I have a guest that's going to be hanging out with me, not quite in studio, but he is coming in through a Zoom video feed. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Can you introduce yourself and then share the organization you're with and the role you play?
Yeah, my name is Kevin Lallmann. I'm the head baseball coach at Galveston College, and this is my 6th season at Galveston, and thanks for having me this morning.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for making some time and coming on. So what's going on? This year has been interesting. Things are starting to get back to normal. What did last season look like for the Whitecaps baseball program, and then how did we get here today?
Well, it's funny that we're doing this call today because we're almost one calendar year away from the world changing. Mm-hmm. Last year on March 12th, we played. That was a Thursday, and after that game, actually during that game, we started hearing reports of things could be changing drastically. And by the next day, college baseball as we know it was shut down. And things have been a roller coaster ever since.
Yeah. Some of the players, we were talking right before we went on the FM, some of the players, y'all have dorms. There's kids that come from all over, to participate in this program. And then it just had to stop. So they had to figure out, what's the college going to do? What's baseball? Where do we go from here? Did some of them go home, stay there, try and finish school online?
Everyone left. The way we did it with our school, we immediately went to online classes. Credit due to our professors who made the switch almost immediately to online classes. Within 48 hours, all of our guys were back home. And back home was Canada, Australia, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and all points in between. So it was quite an undertaking last year.
Yeah. So how is this season going? Did y'all how is it going so far?
A lot of challenges. Just to play the games. We have some NJCAA guidelines. We have some Texas Junior College baseball guidelines. We have some Galveston College guidelines, and we have to navigate all of those things in order to play games. But up to this point, everything has been good, with the exception of a snowstorm, an unexpected ice storm. Things have been fairly normal in terms of playing games. There's some new protocols that we do nowadays that were not done in the past, but it's just part of the new way of doing things. And it's been pretty good.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier there's guys that come from all over the country, from all different places to come play down there at Galveston College. Where do some of these guys end up? Do they get drafted or go to another school and keep going?
Yeah, both of those actually. We've had since I've been here, and the guys that were here before me, everybody that wants to go play has got a chance to go play. That's part of the junior college level is we're a developmental time. And a lot of those guys are not ready to go play Division I baseball when they come out of high school. They come down here, get bigger, get stronger, get their academics in line, whatever the case may be, where they're able to go to an NCAA Division I school when they leave here. Depending on their skill level, it goes all the way down from getting a chance to get drafted and signed to going to, the lowest level of 4-year college baseball. And we've got guys in between all of that.
Do y'all sit down, and I'm sure you talk to the guys and say, what are your goals? How can we help you get there, and kind of give a realistic expectation of what their future could look like?
Well, hopefully, from a recruiting standpoint, we're going after guys that are targeted towards Division One baseball, and a lot of the guys that we get here have already been to a Division One school. There's not only the high school kids on the way up, we get some guys on the way back down from Division One schools that, maybe they went and they played during the fall of their freshman semester and it just wasn't ready. It wasn't working out. Those guys come back to us and have been good contributors for us. So.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned you've been the coach there for 6 years. What's your background? Are you from this area, or where'd you come from?
I grew up in New Mexico. Played baseball my junior college years were at New Mexico Junior College. My 4-year school was Oklahoma Baptist, which is an NCAA school in Oklahoma. I started coaching in Oklahoma, at Central Oklahoma. My first 3 years, went back to New Mexico Junior College where I played and coached there for 5 years, and got the opportunity to become the head coach at Vernon College in North Texas. And I was there for 14 years. And I came down here 6 years ago to become the pitching coach. And I was our pitching coach down here for 3 years. And I've now been the head coach for 2 years.
Okay. Was that your goal to eventually, get that head coach position here, or just kind of happened?
It wasn't really the goal, I would say. It was, I came down to work with Chris Joblin, who's now a scouting director for the Miami Marlins. And, my goal was to come down and win a national championship. And the way things worked out, it ended up, he got an opportunity in professional baseball. I got promoted. So, yes, maybe it was long-term. I knew it was a possibility, but that wasn't necessarily my goal in coming down.
I got you. Okay, so here's a question. I wanted to ask, who is, even if you can name a couple guys, some of the best players that you've had the opportunity to coach in your career so far?
Man, I've had some big leaguers over the time. Couple, 2 or 3 guys that have made it to the big leagues. Down here, as far as Galveston College, we've had since I've been here, I believe we've had 6 or 7 guys that have signed professionally, and that's the ultimate goal for all of us, is because none of those guys were drafted coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
They were prospects. They were kids that wanted a chance to play baseball, and they came here, and due to the opportunity that we gave them, they were developed into professional players, and now they make a living playing our game. So, that's kind of the ultimate goal.
Yeah, you mentioned getting drafted out of high school. To me, it's just interesting, all the different professional sports leagues have their different criteria, and, you have to be this age or have this much, out of high school this many years. And I think about me at, 18, 17 years old, and just like kind of signing that agreement. A lot of these guys, are they prepared, to make that kind of decision?
No, they're not. The kind of the back and forth of that situation is professional baseball takes so much time to develop in the minor leagues that they need to get them at a young age. But when they get them at that young age, rarely are they physically or, I guess, emotionally mature for that situation. And it's a really tough time, that first year or two, being away from home and doing it on the professional level. It's a hard way to make money. It's a tough job. And again, back to our thing, I think that really helps them. Being in a junior college situation is very similar in a lot of ways to being in lower level professional baseball. You're away from home. The days are long. It's a grind on the field. You're having to learn how to do things and take accountability for yourself. So a lot of times the guys coming out to professional baseball after junior college, whether it be a year or two, are a lot better equipped than, say, some of the high school kids.
I got you. Hey, I got to say good morning to Hondo Medellin. He just tuned in on the social media stream on Facebook, and he said great job to you that you're doing here this morning. So I wanted to give a shout out to him and Hustle Baseball.
Hey, Hondo.
Hey.
Hustle Baseball, let's go.
Yeah. So what are some of the benefits, I guess, of a player, an athlete, a student choosing Galveston College? You know, we have a really cool location, you know, get to Houston. We got some pro sports teams here, and I think even the Skeeters just became an affiliate of the Astros. What are some benefits of a athlete choosing the Whitecaps baseball?
Well, I think it always comes down to opportunities. The guys that have came through here, players and coaches before the ones that are here now, including myself, have kind of paved the way for all of us. You know, we won a national championship at this school in 1994. I've become very good friends with some of the guys that won that national championship, and they've given back to the program in many ways. The players that have came through here have gone on to do really well at their schools or their professional teams that they went to, and that just paves the way for the guys that are here now. You know, those schools, when they get one of our players, they know that kid's going to know how to play. He's going to be a good student. He's going to be a good citizen. He's going to be a dependable guy for our team. And when they do that, that just helps the next generation of players, because those schools continue to call us and say, hey, we love that kid. Can you send us another one like that?
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, that's a big part of what we do. It's placing players. This is not the ultimate end goal for these guys. It's a step on their way of developing their careers. And we take that very serious in terms of placing guys and getting them ready to go do what their ultimate goals are.
Okay. And, you know, earlier you had mentioned y'all are looking for those guys that are like D1 talent, potentially, you know, drafted. But how do you do that scouting process? You know, like if there's any young athletes out there that's their goal, you know, and they want to look at all their options and maybe Whitecaps baseball would be good for them. What are things that you look for? Do y'all look at tape? I mean, I'm just wondering how scouting is working right now. How does that work?
Well, within the last year, things have changed immensely. That's kind of a twofold answer. Prior to a year ago tomorrow, we were on the road all the time. Both my assistant and I we'd split it up. A lot of times we'd go together, but a lot of time in the car, a lot of time on the road, going to watch tournaments, going to watch showcases, going to work events. Because of our reputation at Galveston College, we get invited to several events to not only to come watch, but to actually work on the field with those guys. So developing relationships with the guys and being out and basically putting our brand out there, being visible in the Texas community, and not only Texas, but I guess nationally, stretching to Atlanta. We try to get our brand out there as much as possible, and so that when somebody brings up Galveston College, they go, "Oh yeah, we know about that school."
Mm-hmm.
And you know, with me being an older guy and having done, this is my 28th season of doing this, I now have not only good contacts that I talk with all the time, but I have former players that have become coaches that, you know, we're constantly on the phone, email. Hey, you need to check this guy out. Okay, send me some video. So there is a lot of video nowadays,
mm-hmm.
a lot more so than in the past. And, you know, it's in a lot of ways, recruiting has become so much better now than it was 25 years ago. I actually spent more time in a car and on a plane 25 years ago than I have to now. So,
yes, wow. So I'm talking to Coach Lallmann with the Galveston College Whitecaps. He's a coach over at with the baseball team, and I know there's been some live stream of the baseball games. Are people allowed to attend some of those or practices? Is that open to the public?
Yes, we are allowing fans. For those of you out there that are interested in coming down, we're basically operating at a 50% occupancy right now. There are Galveston College guidelines and Region 14, which is our governing body in Texas. There's protocols which essentially come down to a COVID screening as you come through the gate. Wristbands are required and social distancing is encouraged. But yes, we are open for business.
So if somebody has never been to a Whitecaps baseball game and they want to go check it out, I guess how can they find out information, see a schedule, and then what can they expect when they show up?
Right now we're playing 2:00 doubleheaders on Wednesday and Saturday. We have just started conference. We are right at the beginning of our conference play. We actually played Wednesday night. We started at 2:00. We finished up about 9:30 on Wednesday. Went extra innings, lost a heartbreaker to Blinn College. But through the month of March, we will be playing doubleheaders Wednesday and Saturday. As far as game times, we actually had to revamp the conference schedule due to the ice storm. We were scheduled to start the week of the ice storm, and so we had to revamp our entire conference schedule to get the games in, and we ended up pushing everything back. So we're still in week 1 of conference right now. So we have another solid month of Wednesday, Saturday doubleheaders. During the month of April, it will move to a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday series, which will be a 4-game series versus each conference opponent.
All right, Coach, is the goal this year another national championship?
Always. First and foremost, we're looking to develop players and put them in the right position to move on. Secondly, we're putting these guys in a academic situation where they can improve their grades, get some basics checked off in terms of education, and graduate from Galveston College. And third, and in no particular order, but third is obviously to go compete for a conference championship, put ourselves in a regional spot, and then compete for a national championship.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing how this season unfolds, and I'm rooting for you guys, every year. Coach, is there anything else you'd like to share this morning?
Well, I'd like to thank you for having me on, and I'd like to thank you guys that are out there supporting Galveston College baseball. It's a point of pride for our community, and the people that have, like I said before, the people that have came through here before us have kind of paved the way and made this a really good place to work, and it's made it a very attractive spot for potential recruits. And I thank everybody that's been involved in making this program what it is.
Thank you, Coach, for making some time today. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. All right. Hey, if you're watching on social media, thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to share this out. Make sure you go check out the next Whitecaps baseball game, or they're doing some doubleheaders. Go to their website and social media. You'll be able to